What's up, guys? Daemonxel back again with another Eve Frontier video. It is patch day, and again, we have got a patch out of left field that no one was expecting, especially on the back end of the last patch. We got to talk about it. All right, so we are going to talk about the patch notes that came out today, which was pretty much a surprise to everyone. But before we get into that, that's right, you know what I'm going to do? That is direct you to the link below in the description of the video. And that is, if you want to play this game and more than just the free trial, you want to become a founder and have founders access to play this game throughout every cycle, then go ahead, purchase your founders pack, and go ahead and put my referral code in. If you haven't already used a referral code, if you're a founder, you can go ahead and plop that code in as well. It helps me out with grace, and I would really appreciate it. Thank you very much. Okay, and that is the plug. All right, so let's mosey on over to the actual patch notes, and let's talk about it. Okay, so these are the patch notes for the 5th of November. This is cycle 3. We are, I would say, midpoint of the cycle. I believe the cycle is going to end around December 16th-ish, mid-December. I could be wrong. It could be around the 11th. I don't know. I know it's near the front half of December. So these are some of this first one is the big one, right? Riders now have unrestricted access to portable storage units that aren't their own and should be able to retrieve items freely. So what does this mean? Well, this means now everything, all your portable storages, is now group storage. Now, this is great for tribes who are wanting to add in and have basically mass storage so they can do group builds. So on the back end, this is going to be great for Cycle 4, where it's going to focus on tribal building. However, we just came off the last patch notes, right? That got rid of the reinforcement timers on structures. So in essence, this is basically a double slap in the face. And the reason I say that, and you guys can torch me in the comments, I don't care what they do fix-wise, right? If this was the intent all along, was to have, because I know a lot of people from not even this cycle, but not even this era, previous eras, people always had the complaint that, hey, I'd like to be able to give access to my portable storage so that other people within my tribe or my friend group can use that, the materials in there to do their builds. Now, moving forward, I don't care. Like, having access to everyone, that's perfectly fine. But make sure your secure storage units, your SSUs, are bug-free before you do it. Just like the reinforcement timers, right? They got rid of the reinforcement timers without a rebuild mechanic, which they say is coming in the future, already in place. So you have now free destruction and now free piracy, basically. Now, and what I mean by this is the SSUs, right? And they come in all different flavors, right? You got your you got your 20,000, that's your small. You got your 200,000 M3. And that's your medium. And then your large, I think, is 2 million M3 for storage. The only problem with that is they are still laggy. They bug out. And what I mean by bug out is sometimes you'll put materials in there, and from transferring materials from your SSU to your ship, they sometimes disappear into the ether and never to be seen again. The other thing is they still sometimes, I'm pretty sure, they do not act with the assemblies. So in other words, if I have a bunch of ore in there and I have my refinery, I can't pull from my SSU into my refinery. I can't pull from my SSU into my assembler, my shipyard, my printers. I can't pull from it. I can't deliver to it. I have to use an intermediary. So I'd have to use either portable storage units to transfer to there and then to there again, or use a ship with a large enough cargo to deliver into and then plop it into my SSU. So there are workarounds on this and what you can do. And I know someone said that it doesn't make a difference now because with the removal of the reinforcement tires, you can take out a portable storage unit with mine lasers, right? They're very easy to destroy. However, I equate this to robbing the pinata before you bust it open. So if there's stuff in a portable unit and you blow it up, you have a 50% chance of drop rates, right? You're not going to get everything that's in there. Just like Eve, you're only going to get some things that possibly, due to RNG gods, will drop. Well, now you can go into there, take everything out, and then blow it up to ensure yourself you got a kill. Or if you don't want to kill it, you could just steal everything you want. Now, the other good thing about this, well, not the other, I say the only good thing about this, and we could go down, we're going to skip these points and go to this one right here. Now, remember, everything is on the chain, right? Whatever you build is put on the blockchain. So everyone can see. If you're going to data core, and I'm going to do a third-party spotlight on a new project that's out called Project Anvil, which is basically like data core, but a much nicer version of it. So you can find anything about anybody on the chain, where they park their units, where everything is, all that. However, now portable storage units are no longer on the chain, so you can't find them. So if you are putting everything in portable storage units, no one's going to be able to see it unless they actually land on it. That being said, what you can do is, if you want to keep your portable storage units, you're going to have to put them in a safe spot, right? That would be either a belt that you mined out, that would be a PVE site that you ran and it's completely empty. Because once those go away, they're not going to be able to be searchable in the system, but they will be in your personal assets. So it is basically a safe spot for you to use these portable units. The other thing you could do is you can build another network node within the same system. If you're having power issues, if you don't have power grid issues, in other words, if you don't have, say, a medium shipyard and a large hangar and a medium hangar and everything in one spot, you're not going to have the power output from your network node to support all this. What you can do is you can build another network node in the same system and just surround it with SSU. So basically being a storage unit. The only problem you're going to run with that is the SSUs will be on chain. Someone will be able to warp to it, even if they're not even looking on the chain. They just warp to these L points. They'll be able to see it, so they still be able to blow it up. And you still run the risk of possibly losing whatever you're putting in there when you're trying to take it out. When you're transferring things in and out, you could lose materials. Now, the downside to all of this is now they made it okay. So with this cycle, right? They made with the endless industry, the patch that came, they made it very easy to pull materials from your portable units, right? Go down the list, you pick the recipe that you want. Oh, look, I go into this portable unit, and the materials I need to make this piece, module, or whatever I'm making is going to be right there on the right-hand side in the upper bracket for the required materials. I can just move them over. Well, now I'm going to have to make sure I know what materials I need, warp to my safe spot or wherever I have my materials, pull them out, I guess make a temporary portable unit or whatever, or just basically have the materials on hand to do this. So it's going to make industry a little bit more, I don't know, pain in the ass. Basically, it's like they fixed a problem last patch and they introduced a whole new problem that negates what they just fixed. That is my take on it anyway. I mean, if the SSUs were incorporated so that you could use them in the building assemblies or smart units, it wouldn't be an issue, right? But that's my take on it. So to me, it's leaving a bad taste in my mouth for everything. Now, obviously, we're gonna see stuff in the future where it's gonna fix all this. And the CCP devs team, even Jotun, basically said that they're taking all this feedback from the community on these changes. They're taking it back to the team, and they're going to see what they, see well, we'll find out more about it on the Frontier Friday stream. But that's the big thing about the portable storage units. Let's check out what else they did. They fixed an intermittent issue that caused the build mode info cards to not appear as resolved. Let's see. Removing the excess input materials for a job no longer results in being able to browse through the left-hand jobs menu. Well, that kind of sucks because I actually like being able to browse through the left-hand side so I can plan my next job. Like, oh, let me pull this up. Oh, all right, this is what I'm going to need. Oh, this is what I'm going to need. So let me pull up the materials that I'm going to need so I can move that on and get them stored and ready for that. The one thing that was supposed to happen in the last patch, they actually fixed it with this patch, and that was the decay timer on the refuge assembly. It's been removed. They said it was removed last time, and people noticed that with the last patch, the refuge still had that decay timer on it. So if you went and placed refuges throughout the trinary, if you didn't visit them within 3 days, they disappear. Also, a wallet generation issue that was causing transport error pop up upon launching the client has been resolved. So basically, we've all dealt this, right? You log into the game since the last patch, and then a pop-up would appear saying that, you know, there's an error. They can't. You basically just hit OK, and you're able to log into the game as normal. Well, that pop-up is no longer there. You don't have to worry about that any longer. Also, this was released yesterday. I figured I'd just tie it in with the patch notes. At the end of the cycle, they are holding their first E-Frontier Winter Classic tournament, right? So it's going to be, I believe, 5 versus 5, basically the same thing as EVE Online's Arena, their tournament. They're doing the same thing here in the Frontier. Now, what's going to happen is the tournament is going to be held on the 6th and 7th of December, and it's going to be broadcast live on CCP TV, which I should be through the Discord as well on their Twitch channel. Now, the caveat to this is that's going to be during the test of the WASD controls. So we're going to be able to see PvP with the new installed controls for your ship. So you'll be able to keyboard control your ship as well as your guns and turrets and everything else. So it's going to make for some interesting fights. Now, we don't have the topological I forget exactly what they call it. I call it module, but it's not modules. But your topological modules, right? Your settings. So in other words, you can't put all your plates on one side, your guns on another side. That's not introduced into the game as of yet. Just the WASD controls, and that's going to be live for this tournament. Now, the rules of this tournament is the teams can only can be as large as you want, up to a maximum of 5 pilots at a time. In other words, you can have a whole team of like 10 players, but only 5 of them can take a field at the time. As far as I know, there is no ship restriction at this time. We're going to get the complete rule set on Monday, November 10th, and that's going to give us, it'll probably tell us the outlines, what ships we're going to need and everything else. However, it is your own ship, and I believe they're going to transport you. In other words, you're not going to say, this is what I want to fly, and they're going to generate it for you. You have to produce your own ship, and they will transport you to the arena on that time. It says here, the teams will select a captain from amongst their myths, and that person will do the coordinating for that team. So obviously you want to have a competent FC on the field. Now, to go along with this, they're running another contest, and that's going to be the Winter Classic social media promotional material generation, so Jotun doesn't have to spend any more time in Photoshop contest. I know it's a mouthful. Basically, all they want you to do is they want you to make either a poster, some images, or a trailer. It could be a YouTube short or whatever, just a video presentation, or like I said, a still image to promote this Winter Classic tournament. Now, they're going to give prizes. Now, they didn't say anything about prizes for the tournament itself yet. That's probably going to come on the 10th. However, for the contest of the promotional, the top 10 will get a nod from Jotun, but the top 3, third place is going to get 150 grace, second place is going to get 300 grace, and first place is going to get 500 grace. And you know me, I love me some grace. So, yes, your boy Damon will be trying to put together a hype video, and we'll see how badly I can fail at it. So, we're going to get a bunch more of this when they're talking about this on their Frontier Friday stream. So, later in the afternoon, as always on this channel, I will have the Frontier Friday news. which will sum up basically what happened on the stream as well as any other news that we found between now and then. So, hope this helps you guys out. Always voice your concerns on the official Discord if you guys like the changes they're making to the game or not. They are always listening to the community on these subjects. So, but until I talk to you guys again, you guys have a great week. Have a great weekend. Fly safe. Remember, here on this channel, we are always one vision, one purpose, one front. I'll see you guys in the next video.